Hey, you. I'm Technovoid. Today we're ranking League of Legends champions based on how good or bad of a husband or wife they would be. I know very little about the lore. Frankly, I probably don't even know all these characters very well, but either way, this list is definitive, and if you disagree, screw you, yell at me in the comments, it only serves to make me more powerful. So without further ado, we got 155 of these dickheads to get through. Let's get started. And we're starting with this boy right here. This is Aatrox. Aatrox, gonna be completely honest, this is a guy that looks like he beats his wife. He's like a demon? I'm pretty sure he's a demon. And when you gotta get protective services involved, I think that's not a very good husband. He definitely has that look that he's gonna do some domestic abuse, and we don't want that. That being said, kinda hot, kind of attractive, so I think I'm gonna throw him towards the bottom of the C tier. Not quite D tier, I think there will be a lot worse on this list. Next up we got Ahri. Ahri, I think well-known waifu bait in this game. I mean, and for good reason, is Fox Girl, is sexy Fox Girl. Now the problematic thing here with Ahri is that I'm pretty sure anytime you have sex with her, you die a little bit inside. Because I think she drains your life force, or something like that, so it really comes down to with Ahri, how much of your life being sucked away is worth it for the sex. How good is the sex gonna be? That being said, she's pretty attractive, she's probably got some skills, which is nice, and I'm guessing the sex would be pretty good. And for some people that's gonna be a win-win. Dying in good sex, probably a win-win for some people. So I'm gonna say Ahri, probably an A tier, I would guess. It really is between A and B. How worth it is it for you to have really amazing lovemaking skills at the cost of probably dying at 50, 40, something like that? I assumed it a little bit each time you die. I assume you get like a couple of years off every time you have sex. So, you know, not going to be much love in that marriage for what it's worth, but I do think the lust sort of makes up for it to some degree. It's not going to be a great situation, but it's also not going to be permanent. You're going to be dead pretty soon. So we'll put her in A. Akali, she got reworked recently. God, I don't know how many years ago. I mean, I will say, very attractive. I know she eats ramen now, which is pretty cool. She seems pretty down to earth, pretty awesome gal. I don't know how dangerous she would be to somebody that she dedicated her life to. Probably in fact not even going to be dedicating much of her life to that person. Sounds like she'd probably be kind of aloof. Would she cheat? I don't know. But she has a lot of skills, and she's pretty damn hot. So I'm gonna tentatively put her in S, unless I find some more information about her being insanely psychopathic. No, she seems fine. Yeah, S tier for Akali. I think that's fair. Alistar. Now, Alistar, we're moving into Alistar, and I mean, he's a beefcake. I don't know much about this guy's lore, but what I do know is that he's a beefcake, and I know that in-game, he's very strong and protective. What's not to love? What's not to love? What is he? He's a mighty warrior with a fearsome reputation. He seeks revenge. I mean, that sounds pretty good. The one thing with Alistar is if you get him mad, bulls, they're not very nice when they're mad. Probably gonna be a lot of property damage and that's a point against him. But all things considered, he's the full package. He's hot, and he seems like he would probably be a pretty loving husband. So I'm gonna put him in S. I think for now Alistar can go in S. Moving on to Amumu. Now, I feel like I should preface this here with Amumu before we get further in. I'm gonna try and be fair to Yordles. Yordles, a lot of them, they do look like children. That being said, I am gonna be rating void creatures and fox girls and stuff like that, so I think it's only fair I give Yordles a fair shake based on them as people rather than the fact that they look as children. That being said, Amumu is... It's not hot. It's not a good husband. Do we even know his gender? I just called him a him. Yeah, okay, so Amumu confirmed male. I didn't even know. The crying's not attractive. Probably doesn't have many skills because he's been locked in a tomb, locked in a desert for so long. Probably doesn't know how to cook. Not really very good job prospects for Amumu. The tangling stuff might be kind of kinky, but just feel like it would be weird. I don't know if there's anything wrong with Amumu per se. Something feels wrong about it beyond the fact that he's just a kid. Potentially. Not gender. Age, I don't really know about Amumu. But it doesn't seem right. It doesn't seem right for some reason. The crying is bad. I don't like it. He would probably want to talk about his emotions a lot, and that's probably a good thing in something. He doesn't sound like he'd be a good listener either. Although he is very lonely, so maybe you know what? We'll give Amumu a B for now. The fact that they're very lonely means that they could probably warm up and be good in that sense. So I'll give that to him. Anivia is a bird. What do we know about Anivia? There's a winged spirit. From what I've heard of her quotes, she's a rather smart lady. Ice Phoenix may make the heating bill kinda high, but in the summer it sounds like she would be a pretty good wife to have. Honestly, I think Anivia is a solid B tier. Nothing super positive, nothing super negative. Obviously, you're not going to be having kids with Anivia, but as it stands, I think Anivia could be, a good shoulder to cry on. Just make sure it doesn't freeze to your face or anything like that. Probably a lot of fun to talk to. Probably can't get a job. Who knows? Maybe you should get a job as mall Santa or something. I'm not going to judge. I'm actually going to move Amumu down to C just because I think Anivia is a solid middle ground here. Annie. Okay. So we've reached the first problematic entry. If Amumu wasn't problematic enough, we've reached the first really problematic entry. And I posit this to you. Moving the fact aside that Annie is a literal child, and we shouldn't ignore that. That is going to play a big part in this, but ignoring that, let's look at the facts. Since she is young, no life experience. Probably would not be great to talk to. Probably wouldn't want to talk about anything other than her bare tibbers or how her sister died. Can't get a job. That's illegal, I'm pretty sure. The bear could be cool, but it's still on fire and it's still probably pretty aggressive. So I'm not going to make that a positive or a negative. The bear could go either way. Also, she's just kind of a bitch, and also a pyromaniac. That's, I think, a big thing, is the fact that she sets stuff on fire for fun, and that's not great for your insurance. So you are gonna need to move houses a lot. On top of all of that, the fact that she is a child, I think, despite the fact that she is a child, she would be a D tier. And the fact that she is a child makes her definitely a D tier. If you want Annie to be your wife, you're probably on some lists already, but I'm now also adding you to the list of bad taste in League of Legends wives. So that's that. Next, we got to talk about Aphelios. I admittedly know very little about this dude. The three things I know is he's super annoying to deal with in the game. He is mute, I think. I think he drinks poison to talk to his dead sister. And I think that's really where we need to focus, because when you are dating Aphelios, the problem is that you are not only dating Aphelios. You have some real family drama, some real family issues that you're getting into. I don't think people besides him can see his sister, which kind of makes things awkward, because he can't talk, but he subs for his dead sister and stuff. I don't think that's great. I think there's a really bad dynamic there. You have, two powerful women, or one powerful woman and one powerful man in his life. Not doing it. I don't think he's super bad, but I think the extra drama and the extra baggage you're getting from dead sis is not ideal. So I'm gonna go ahead and put him below Amumu. Next up is Ashe. I can't really think of anything negative to say about Ashe. I know a few things about Ashe. I know she's married, but we're assuming in this case that that's not a problem. That's no issues. Nobody's married. Everybody's free for the taking. Ashe is a queen, and that's pretty cool. She's a queen. She's a badass lady. She's attractive. She doesn't know how to dress for the winter, but on the other hand, that does mean that she can take care of herself. Probably should get a new tailor, all things considered, but she seems to be doing okay for herself. I really can't think of anything bad about Ash. There might be some superiority complex with her, but other than that, I can't think of a reason why Ash wouldn't be S tier. I can't think of any big negatives with Ash that would make her a bad wife. Next up, we got Aurelian Sol. He's a giant space dragon, which sounds cool in theory, but he's also an enormous dickhead. Definitely a superiority complex with this one. I mean, he's super powerful and he can make stars, but that can be a good thing, that can also be a bad thing. You gotta think about it with these champions, with their power levels. How are they gonna treat you? How are they gonna treat you? And I don't get the feeling that Aurelian Sol's gonna treat you super well, because he's kind of full of himself. He's gonna kind of see you as an insignificant ant, and that's not good. So we're gonna put him at the bottom of C tier. God powers aside, just kind of a dick. Doesn't seem like a good husband. Alright, moving on to Azir here. Oh man, Azir, another piece of royalty. It's always pretty good. You're gonna find sand and all. You're gonna find sand in your all of your clothes and probably your food and the furniture, and that's not great. He can make people. That's pretty cool. Also, kind of maybe problematic depending on where he gets those people from. Does he make them out of sand? I assume he makes them out of sand. Probably gonna be pretty one note. I'm not sure there's anything super wrong with Azir. I think there's definitely some benefits with Azir. I'm not sure if there's any negatives other than just an immense amount of sand everywhere, which is pretty annoying. I don't like sand, so I'm gonna check him in the A tier, just because I think the benefits definitely outweigh the negatives. But screw sand. Screw sand. Alright, so Bard is up next. That's Blitzcrank. I love Bard. Bard is very possibly my favorite, if not one of my favorite champions of the game. He's not going to be much of a husband or wife. I don't think Bard has a confirmed gender, but I'll tell you what, they're going to act more like a shitty roommate than a wife or a husband. They're going to be in and out. They're kind of the Aurelian Sol problem. They're not even going to notice you, really. Bard's probably off doing his magical journeys, getting high. Can't even really talk to you because he doesn't speak a language. He just musics. You can vibe with Bard pretty good. If you're looking to just get high, just have a buddy that you can get high with, Bard's probably your dude. But if you're looking for someone that you can, you know, pay a salary with, this guy would not pay rent. Don't tell me Bard would pay fucking rent. The cops are gonna come over and they're gonna find your his weed garden, their weed garden in your greenhouse that he's set up. And then he's just gonna magical journey on out when the cops come over, and you're gonna go to jail. I like Bard. I think he's gonna be a pretty low C tier. Maybe above Aatrox. I would say above Aatrox. I think at least they're not beating you. I need to stop saying he for Bard. I'm sorry. Sorry, Bard. Next up is Blitz. Blitz is. Now, I'm not sure with Blitz how much of his robot-tiness is negative. As far as I know, Blitz is not the kind of robot that wants to take over and kill all humans. Don't think that's what he does. He was built to dispose of hazardous waste. He modified his own form to better serve the fragile people. Okay, so he seems like a pretty decent guy. Blitz actually seems like kind of a cool dude. The extendy arm, pretty good for getting stuff off of high ledges, or the high cabinet. Honestly, Blitz actually seems like he would be a pretty good husband. I cannot think of a good reason to put Blitz in the A tier. Lack of sexual component to the relationship is unfortunate. Ooh, I wonder how a Blitz handjob is like. No, I'm not wondering that, but I am putting him in S tier. I would say bottom of S tier, because I can't really think of any real negatives to dating Blitz. He just seems kind of like a nice robot dude, and I can get behind that. Okay, now we've got Brand, and I don't know how Brand is as a guy. Kagan Rod, he is a lesson in temptation of greater power. Okay. He betrayed his companions and seized it for himself and got set on fire. I think that tells us all we need to know. Not only does he have the Annie problem of just insane prices on your house and anything in your house, it's gonna be super hot. I don't like hot weather. Nobody likes being set on fire. And this dude, the only reason he's like this is because he was a major dickhead to his previous partners. Definitely going in the D tier. Sorry, not sorry, Brand. We will still put you above Annie. We will still put you above Annie. Okay, I'm going to be very quick and to the point here. Braum is very potentially the best possible husband you could have in League of Legends, maybe even any video game in existence ever. He's a sweetheart. He's a just incredibly sexy man. Look at this man. Tell me he is not. Tell me you are not wet right now for Braum. He's perfect. There's literally nothing wrong with this guy. He is a sweetheart and he's incredibly attractive. Very, very possibly gonna be at the top of the list for the rest of this video. Caitlyn. Off the top of my head, I can't think of anything wrong with Caitlyn. Her VO does make her sound like kind of a prissy bitch. She seems cool and level-headed, especially compared to Vi. Very law-abiding citizen, which I don't have a problem with. Honestly, yeah, I mean, when you look at A tier, the problems with A tier are that you will die from having sex, and you will get sand everywhere. And as far as I can tell, Caitlyn, pretty normal wife, very, attractive lady with, large skill set, stable job, and no real downsides. So we'll put her up here. We'll put her right around where Ash is. I think that's fair. That's tough. Let's get the women together. I don't think there's much separating all these women. I think they're all badasses that are capable of a lot. And Blitz will have at the bottom just because, you can't fuck them. Can't fuck them. All right. Moving on to Camille. Admittedly, I know very little about Camille, but I do know that I don't like Camille. She's a bitch. She's an assassin, which I don't think assassinations make for very consistent work. So that's not great. She's an older lady, could be good or bad, has the same problem as Blitz, where you can't bet him. But on top of that, I think she's just kind of an asshole. And that's not great. Also, knife legs. That's gonna... Any fun stuff you try to do, or even just walking around with Camille in the house, I mean, your floors are gonna get scraped up. I don't know if she can use them for cooking, potentially, but they're gonna be all gross because she walks around on those things. The knife legs, big negative, I think. I think she's robotic enough to the point where she is not bettable, so negative on that. Bitch, negative on that. Positive, she's, a relatively attractive older lady. Is it worse than the C tier folks? No, I think low B tier for Camille is fair. I think she definitely... There's some positives, but I think the negatives outweigh the positives. Not to the point where she is a bad wife, but below average. Cassiopeia. I think Cassiopeia has a similar problem to Brand, where she was a deadly creature bent on manipulating others to her sinister will. Doesn't sound great. That being said, Sexy Snake Lady. That's pretty good. The youngest and most beautiful daughter of the noble... Okay, so nobility, beautiful. If you're into fun snake shit, that's good. If she looks at you, does she have to activate her U-turn to stone vision or not? I don't know. I get the feeling that since that's her ultimate, she needs to activate stone gaze. And that's just not just a natural thing. That being said, if it's just a natural thing, easy F tier, because you literally can't look at your wife without a mirror. Otherwise, I think she falls probably mid-C, because she's a conniving bitch, but she's pretty sexy, and the snake thing could be a positive for some people, could be a negative for some people, but I think it mainly comes down to the personality. She has nobility, but I don't think that's going to mean much. If anything, I think that's going to mean that she's, you know, sees people beneath her, and it's not going to be much else. So that's that. Moving on to Cho'Gath. Doing the the void creatures is going to be a bit tough, I think. The problem with Cho'Gath, I think the main problem with Cho'Gath, other than the fact that he looks like this, and I personally don't find this very sexually appealing. I think the big problem here is that he's got a big appetite, and that's going to cost a lot. And I'm not convinced he won't eat you, and that's not great. Not convinced he's not going to eat you. He gets really big, so you're going to have really high ceilings. You're going to end up having to pay a lot more for, you know, air conditioning and stuff. And there's the food problem. He's going to constantly be eating, constantly be getting bigger. No real benefits to having Cho'Gath as a husband, I see. The one benefit is kaiju. You can sort of get on his back, you can roll around the city, but then you're just going to have the police at your door, and you're probably going to go to jail, even though he did all the bad stuff. So honestly, Cho'Gath, I'm sorry. I think I'm putting you in D tier, not because you're a bad guy. I don't know, maybe you're a great world-devouring monster, but it's not efficient. It's not efficient, you know? God, maybe low C for him. The fact that he's maybe gonna eat me makes him is a deal breaker, I think. Corky, okay, so Corky's another one of the Yordles, right? So again, trying to consider Yordles in the same thing as everyone else. That being said, Corky doesn't seem like too bad of a husband. He's got a glorious mustache, as it says here. Also, I think Corky, it's good that he has hobbies. You know, he builds his ships. Technically minded, can appreciate that. He's going to be the husband in the garage, probably spending a bit too much time on his hobbies in the garage, you know, making the motorcycle, making the car, making the flying machine, but not a bad husband. Probably very capable as a mechanic, could probably get a very good, you know, a decently paying job that way. Seems like it would be a pretty stable relationship, not much getting in the way of that. The one thing is he's probably going to pay more attention to his bikes than he is to you, but you could do a lot worse. I'm going to give him a B tier, I think. I'm going to put him above Camille. I think... let's give him an A tier. There's nothing wrong with Corky. I think the issue with Corky is there's nothing particularly interesting other than that mustache. So we're going to put him in A tier. Darius. Darius seems like he's going to be pretty high. Just don't know too much about him, but I get the feeling he's probably going to be pretty high. He's no greater symbol of Noxian might than Darius, and he's right. He rose from humble origins. In my book, that is a big positive. It takes a lot of character to do that. He cleaves to the Empire's enemies. Many of them Noxians themselves. Okay, positives and negatives, but it does sound like Darius is loyal, and loyalty is good. It sounds like he could get a job. Might yell at waitresses and waiters, and that is not ideal. Darius, we're gonna have to work on that. If you can't just yell at retail workers. It's really fucked up. He seems like kind of a dickhead, but he seems like he's loyal. He's got a good job, pretty sexy. I'm gonna give him an A tier. I'm gonna give him a solid A tier above Corky. I think that's fair. Diana, you are. I like Diana a lot. I think she's attractive. She is, to my knowledge, a religious nut, though, and that is a knock against her. She, in her defense, she's probably mainly a religious nut because she's a loner. You know, she was kicked out of the Solari or whatever, and she's all alone, and people are trying to kill her. So I get that. And she is quite attractive, and she's definitely a woman who can get what she wants, and I like that about her. That being said, do not need to be hearing about the moon every 5 minutes. So for that, I'm gonna say low B. Low B. Above Camille. Camille's a bitch. Diana doesn't seem like a bitch. She just seems like, she'd go to people's houses and knock on their front door and be like, have you heard about the moon? It's like, yeah, it's up there. It's not great. I think Anivia would be better. That being said, moving on to Draven. Draven's a dickhead. Pretty much only cares about himself. But he's pretty strong. Pretty attractive. Draven, ironically, despite being one of the most normal people on this list, Draven might be one of the hardest for me to place, because how bad is his personality, and how bad would he be to somebody that he loved? Because obviously he's gonna love himself a lot more than he loves you. But that being said, it won't necessarily be bad. He's maybe not, he might not be an asshole to everybody. My main problem with Draven is I think Draven's probably gonna be cheating on you with other men and women, and that's not great. I don't like that about Draven. He doesn't seem loyal like his brother, but other than that, there's nothing too wrong with him. I think B tier probably for Draven. Let's under Diana. I think under Diana, because at least Diana, she seems loyal. Draven is not. I'm not a fan of disloyalty. It ain't my thing. Moving on to Dr. Mundo. Yeah, there's the new Dr. Mundo. He is this is not boding well for Dr. Mundo. He's a utterly mad, tragically homicidal, and horrifyingly purple. He's what keeps people inside. Now, a self-claimed... Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and put Dr. Mundo at the bottom. He's insane. He will... Well, maybe above Annie. No, honestly, no. Not above Annie. This is where I draw the line. Dr. Mundo, unlike Cho'Gath, who may eat you, Dr. Mundo is going to experiment on you. He definitely does not feel love. He definitely is not anything. So I don't care about anything else. He's going to murder you in a very painful way. And that's not great. That's not great. That's not... See you later, Dr. Mundo. You're shit. Next up is Echo. Echo. Okay. He... Teenage youth on the mean streets. He's got some cool powers. As far as kids go, he's probably pretty well versed in, getting stuff done, which I can appreciate. That being said, he's a bit young for my tastes. I don't think that he is gonna be great to talk to. Not gonna want to be doing things around the house. He's gonna be wanting to go out and chase his dreams. Still too young to have been broken down by the world yet. But other than that, I think he's fine. Do I put him in D just because he's a kid? That seems unfair, Because, what if you're watching this video and you're 16? So, I mean, you're not getting married. Probably you could. I think you can get married at 16. Can you get married at 16? I assume you can get married at 16. Probably depends on the state and country. I don't think he's a D tier just because he's a kid. I think if you're young enough, he is a perfectly reasonable bachelor. The problems being that he's probably going to be kind of self-centered. But from what I remember of his lore, he does care about his friends deeply. So I'm going to put him in C tier. Because he seems like he would be decent if you were in the right age group. Still going to be some problems. Let's put him above Cass. Let's put him... Nah. Aphelios. Yeah, that's great. Good placement for Echo, I think. About the best I could do. Elise is problematic, because Elise is maybe one of the sexiest champions as far as I'm concerned, but she will lay her spider legs inside me and I will explode into spiders. That is not great. The question is, how much do you value your life? It's sort of the Ahri problem, but tenfold, because I think she's a lot sexier than Ahri, and she's also going to kill you a lot faster than Ahri. So... and definitely unlike Ahri, with Ahri, could there be some love element? Unlikely, but potentially. And at least you'll have a few years. With Elise, I get the feeling it's gonna be one cycle of the spiders hatching before you're dead. And spiders, kinda gross. But man, she is sexy. I'm gonna put her in C tier. I'm gonna put her above Cass. No, I'll put her below Cass. I'll put her below Bard. I'll put her below Aatrox. Fuck, she's sexy, but goddamn, she's gonna kill you. Oh, speaking of sexy ladies that will kill you, we need to talk about Evelyn. Exact same problem. Sex is probably amazing. Will die painfully. Unlike Elise, who I don't think is looking to cause any undue pain, and the pain will be from having spiders rip out of your chest and scuttle around, I think Elise is specifically going to put you in as much pain as possible, because that's what she likes. If you're into that, that's nice. I'm not into that. And everyone knows my opinion is the most important because I'm the one making this video. That being said, I think she's gonna go under Elise. I still think better than Aurelian's Soul, because you can't fuck Aurelian's Soul, so there's no sex benefit to that. And he's gonna be an asshole. Will he kill you? I don't think it matters. I don't think he understands who you are. I don't think he gives a shit. And you know, at least these ladies had the decency to fuck me before they killed me, you know? So for that, Evelyn is going low C, but not lowest C. Next up, we got Ezreal. Ezreal is gonna be decent. He's a dashing adventurer, probably not got a stable job, all things considered. I don't think Ezreal has a stable job, but he's an attractive twink. You know, I like Ezreal. I know he's probably pretty fit, probably pretty physically adept, probably can do a lot of stuff. My main problem with Ezreal is I think he's going to be very self-centered. And this is something that I said about a bunch of champions, but I don't think that makes it any less pertinent. And I think the big problem with Ezreal is that he's gonna be aloof. He's like Draven, he's probably gonna cheat. That being said, I think he's attractive. And you know, when your biggest problem is that he's gonna cheat on you, you end up like Draven, you end up in B tier. That being said, I think that his personality is going to be less grating than Draven's in a long-term relationship. In fact, I think he could actually probably be a pretty good boyfriend or husband. So I'm actually gonna put him decently high B. Maybe A. Why did I put Azir in A? I should have maybe not put Azir in A. No, Azir's fine. He's a bird though, isn't he? Or does he just dress like a bird? If Azir is literally a bird, bring him a tier down. If he's just a human that dresses like a bird, he's fine where he is. I don't know. Now we're on to Fiddlesticks. I don't think I need to say too much about Fiddlesticks. This is not what Fiddlesticks looks like anymore, isn't? Didn't they change his thing? Why is Fiddlesticks not updated? He definitely doesn't look like this. No, absolutely not. But he is terrifying. He is a, yeah, he looks like this. He is a monster of fear, and literal demon. Definitely not a good husband. Sorry, folks who like Fiddlesticks sexually, but he's just gonna murder you brutally. There's not gonna be anything else to that relationship. Speaking of having nothing else to the relationship, Fiora. I don't know why that's not a good tie-in at all, but Fiora is here. I don't like her. She seems not nice. She's renowned for her brusque manner and cunning mind. She's another royal person. She doesn't seem nice. She seems competent. She seems very competent, but she doesn't seem very nice. I think long term, it's a stable relationship. I think it works, but I think you're constantly going to be feeling inferior, and I think that it's not going to be happy. That being said, I think she'd probably be mid B range. Yeah, I think that's fair. Okay. Moving on to Feez. Feez is a little shithead. Not a human. Looks like a kid, despite I don't know whether or not Fizz is a kid. I don't care. He's an asshole. Fuck this guy. He's playing tricks. He didn't care about you. He's a dickhead. what does he do? He don't cross him. Yeah, don't cross him. Don't marry him either. Screw Fizz. Fizz is gonna be low or high C tier, I think. No. What positives? We have to think. There's a lot of negatives to Fizz. Are there any positives to Fizz? I don't think there are any positives to Fizz. I can't think of a single positive to Fizz. I'm gonna put him below the ladies that will kill me, because he's just kind of a dickhead, and no stability in that relationship, no sex in that relationship, no love in that relationship. Just a dickhead. Just a dickhead. Sorry, Fizz. Fuck you. Alright, Galio. Now, I know with some of these, I've rated them low because they're big boys like Cho'Gath and Aurelion Sol, but I feel like they had other problems. Galio, on the other hand, is a doll. I know they changed him somewhat, so now he's more sort of self-assured. I don't think that's a bad thing, though. I still think Galio is probably a sweetie. Obviously a bit big, to be doing anything other than crushing. Not great, not ideal. That being said, I think similar to Anivia, he would be great to talk to, maybe a bit on the dumb side, potentially. But I think his heart's in the right place, and I think that's what's important. You know, ironically, this Rockman is one of the softest boys here, so I'm actually going to put him in high B. Gonna put him in high B, right under Anivia. Yeah, I think that's fair. Moving on to Gangplank. Gangplank, you're a dickhead, aren't you? I remember you being a dickhead. As unpredictable as he is brutal. I need to hear nothing else. That's all I need to hear. That being said, let's read further. The dethroned Reaver King Gangplank is feared far and wide. Didn't he, like, do some shit? Like, isn't he, like, a really, like, conniving bastard? I don't know. I mean, he's kind of cute. But I don't think that makes up for it. Also, isn't he dead? Didn't he die? Is this Necro? I don't know if this is Necro. I'm going to assume, for the sake of this list and the sake of my sanity, this is not Necro. That being said, I think he's a dickhead. I think he's a dickhead. I think he's going to go under Cass. Yeah. I mean, I think similar problems to Aatrox with Gangplank. I don't know why Bard's between them, but there he is. Garen, I think is going to be similar to Darius in a lot of ways. I think he's definitely a lot more one track of a mind, but I don't think he's a bad guy. He's a proud and noble warrior. Unlike Darius, I think I rate him under Darius. I think character-wise, Darius is more of a go-getter, more of a, you know, he's had to work for stuff. Darius knows what $10 is worth in this world. He knows, you know, that a banana is not $10. Garen, I'm not convinced that he knows much of anything. I get the feeling he's sort of married more to his job than his wife, and I don't know if I care about that. But all that being said, I think he would still be a decent husband, and I think I am going to put him in A tier. I think I'll put him right above Corky. I think that's fair. Is Nar next? Animal child. Does not speak English. Can turn into a giant monster when he's angry that will destroy all your furniture and potentially you. Do I need to say anything else? He's a baby. The Yordles might all look like children, but most of them are adults. Nar is a baby. He does not speak the English, and he is a baby. He's goo goo gaga until he gets mad, then he rips you limb from limb. So that's going to be an F tier. Under Annie. Honestly, under Annie. At least Nar is cute when he's small, so I'm putting him above Mundo and Fiddle. But that's all he's got going for him. Why is Cho'Gath as high as he is? I guess because Cho'Gath isn't necessarily going to kill you, is what I came down to. Gragas, my boy, Gragas. You are probably my least favorite champion in the game to play as. That being said, you know, sure, he's an alcoholic, and that's not great. But as far as husbands go, you could do a lot worse. He's a regular dude. If you're into the beer belly, if you're into the dad bod, Gragas has got you. He is your man. That being said, I think he falls into a similar problem with a lot of the C tiers where there just aren't any distinct benefits. I guess he make his own hooch? Because if so, he could potentially be a B tier. But if he's just buying it and causing fights in bars, doesn't seem like a healthy relationship. So I'm gonna put him at the top of C tier. Oh boy, Graves is next. Oh, I'm gonna have a tough time talking about Graves. I'm gonna have a tough time thinking of anything bad about Graves. Malcolm Graves, he's a renowned mercenary, gambler, and thief. Okay. Not ideal, but let's give him the benefit of the doubt here. He's a wanted man in every city and empire he's visited. Okay, Graves, you're making it really hard to give you the benefit of the doubt here. Even though he has explosive temper. Graves. You're so hot. Why are you making this so hard? He possesses a strict sense of criminal honor. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. I do like honor. Honor is a positive. Smoking, I don't want everything in my house smelling like smoke. Do you have to carry the gun everywhere? I assume he can put the gun down. Sex is going to be really great with this guy. He will cheat on you very likely. That's not great. But he's fucking sexy. And he's a criminal, which is not great. He's probably going to do some illegal activities in the basement, and, you know, the police might find you. That being said, I think it's going to be worth it. I'm going to put him in B tier. I'm going to put him above Draven because I think he's hotter than Draven. He's so hot, though. Look. If I'm going to give Ari an A for being a sexy lady that slowly kills me while we fuck, I'm going to put Graves there, too. Because it's a similar... I'm moving Ari down. I'm moving Ari there. Yeah, I think that's fair. If I have to rate Ari on the same scale that I'm rating Graves, because one of them is, you know, really good sex combined with slow death, and the other one is really good sex combined with criminal activities, and Graves comes out on top in that. Graves definitely comes out on top in that. Okay, next up, who's next? Is it Gwen? You're new. You're like a living doll, I think. I don't necessarily have a problem with that. I mean, she's just a sentient body pillow, right? She's like Viego's body pillow or something. So I don't think there's anything too wrong with that. She carries the weight of her maker's love with every step, taking nothing for granted. I appreciate that. She doesn't seem too bad. You know, all things considered, for a haunted doll, she could be a lot less attractive and a lot more creepy. For a haunted doll, she actually looks kind of cute. So, and she seems decently loyal. She's loyal to her mom. You do have the problems with the mom, the in-laws. The in-laws are dead. The in-laws are dead, and that is noteworthy. Although she is looking for the soul of her mom, isn't she? I don't think she's gonna be a problem. I think she's a fair A tier. She's cute. Yeah, I think she's cute and probably pretty loyal, all things considered. Hekarim, where are you? What's your thing? He's a spectral fusion of man and beast, cursed to ride down the souls of the living for all eternity. He was a proud knight, but he was obliterated by the destructive energies of the ruination. Okay, so Hekarim, I'm sorry. First of all, you're a ghost. Second of all, you're half horse. Third of all, it sounds like you just on a murder spree, and that's not great. That's not great, bud. I want to give you the benefit of the doubt, but I don't think I can. I don't think I can give you the benefit of the doubt. Sorry, Hekarim. I'm sorry. I wanted to like you. I wanted you to be a good husband, but I don't think you are. Don't think you are. Heimerdinger. Okay, Heimerdinger I actually think is a really possible good bachelor here. Sure, he's a yordle. Sure, he's very hairy. But And unlike some of the champions on this list, I think he's very full of himself. And that being said, he's a scientist. He's very well renowned. Probably has a lot of money for grants, a lot of money from all the talks he's given. Can probably do a lot of good in the house with his stuff. I would be hard pressed to think of a good reason for Heimerdinger to not be on the top half of the list. He's got the swagger. He's definitely got the money. He's got the brains. I like that about him. The main problem would be he might not really have you might not be able to have interesting conversations depending on the level of conversation that you're able to speak at. He seems like he may be sort of is autistic. Is it autistic? It's one of those where you get hyper fixated and you can't really talk about other stuff. He seems like he may have that, which may make it difficult to hold a conversation with him that doesn't have to do with his interests, which is not great. But other than that, I mean, I'm cool with being a trophy wife for Heimerdinger, all things considered. I'm gonna put him in A tier. I'm gonna put him, I'm gonna move him around like this. I don't know why Azir is here. I don't know where to put Azir. On one hand, there's nothing wrong with him. On the other hand, sand everywhere. I don't know. Alawi time. Alawi. This is a long video already. Alawi, I mean, same problem as Diana, that she's a religious nut, but she is a dommy mommy. She's big. She's got tentacles. I mean, is there anything wrong with Alawi other than that? I don't think so. I think I'm gonna put Alawi in a similar position as Diana. That being said, I think I probably rate Diana a little bit higher because I don't think Diana will break my bones. I think Alawi probably will. I think Alawi's probably gonna put me through like a training regimen. She also seems less flexible on the religion thing. I feel like Diana could potentially, you know, sort of separate her work and her life. Or I guess, nah, not really. I just feel like Alawi would be more so like, I will kill you if you don't subscribe to my god. Not ideal for Alawi. Who's next? We got Aurelia. Anything wrong with Aurelia? She's a good dancer. She's got a lot of swords. She's quite attractive. Kind of hoity-toity, probably. All that being said, I don't think there's much wrong with Aurelia. I think Aurelia's probably gonna be... Why is Darius A tier? Why is he not S tier? I'm actually not sure about that. What separates Caitlyn from Darius? This is the definitive list, by the way. This is the 100% correct list. So don't you worry about me thinking about this. This is for this reason. I'm very particular. I mean, Darius seems like a sweetheart. I'm gonna put him up here. I'm gonna put Aurelia up here too. I don't think there's anything wrong with Aurelia. I don't think there's any downsides. I must have put Darius in A because there was a downside, but I don't know what the downside was. He was like brutal. He kills people, right? Won't kill you. You're his wife. He might beat you. Probably not great. Yeah, probably if you argue with him, there's gonna be some problems. So I think actually A tier is probably fine. Aurelia, I can actually see her being kind of reasonable, potentially. What are we on to? Are we on to Ivern? Oh, I don't know what to do for Ivern. He's, the peculiar half-man, half-tree. This is Bob Ross tree, right? I mean, he seems chill. But I feel like he has a similar problem to Bard. Not as bad as Bard, because he recognizes human beings, he's cool with them, but he is a stoner. He is a stoner, though. He's kind of creepy. But I don't think he'd be a bad husband, necessarily. Put him in A. Let's do that. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Who's next? Janna. If I remember Janna, she's like a regular girl that got turned into a goddess, right? Elemental wind spirit. She's yeah. I see absolutely nothing wrong with Janna. I think she's a perfectly good wife. Maybe not quite as well, she is a goddess, so maybe. Yeah, I think that fits her. I think that fits her pretty well. Cannot think of a single thing. I mean, maybe it gets a bit chilly in the home because of all the wind, but could do a lot worse. Prince Jarvan is kind of an asshole, I think. Raised the paragon of his nation's greatest virtues, forced to balance heavy expectations placed on him with his own desire to fight on the front lines. You know, I can appreciate that. I don't actually think... I've never liked Jarvan as a character in terms of how he plays, but I don't think that means I should discount how good of a lover he would be. And I think he would maybe be a decent lover. It sounds like he's having a tough time balancing his work and his life. That's nothing he can't work on, though. It's nothing he can't work on. I think he's going to go in high A. Despite the fact that I don't actually like him at all. Yeah, I think that's fair. Moving on to Jax. I don't know much about you, bud. I really don't know much about you, Jax. Biting sarcasm. I like that. Weapons master. Laid low by his own hubris and unleashing the void. Not great there. But, everyone makes mistakes. Jet seems nice. He seems nice. I don't think there's anything wrong with him. Put him IB. Yeah, let's put him right there. Yeah, nothing wrong with Jax. Okay, Jace is a dickhead. Here's the problem we run into sometimes, is that they have a lot of money, they're competent, he's a genius, he's a Heimerdinger-esque level genius, and he's probably got a lot of money, but he's very self-centered, he would cheat, this guy 100% is cheating, he's never cooking dinner, you're always the one doing the laundry, you're always watching the movie he wants to watch, and half the time he's sleeping with another woman. Yeah, I don't much care for Jace. I don't much care for Jace. I don't think he would be a good husband. I think he'd be a pretty shitty husband. Maybe you would be comfortable in the marriage, but I don't think you would be happy. Oh Lord, is Jin next? Oh, you're tough to rate, aren't you? You are a serial killer. I'm not sure there's much else to the fact that you're a serial killer. I think that automatically puts you kind of down here, because you very much will kill me in the name of beauty. At least he won't kill you until 4 days after you're married, at the very least. That being said, he's out of his mind. Oh, speaking of champions out of their mind, the next one is also that. That being said, I don't think Jinx is nearly as bad as Jin, because I don't think she would just kill her significant other just for the heck of it. Maybe. She is manic and impulsive, and she, lives to wreak havoc without care for the consequences. Not good wife material, guys. Guys, I'm sorry. I know a lot of people like Jinx, but you don't put a ring on crazy. You don't do it, There's a good reason for it, and it's because you're going to be paying for all the property damage, you're going to be, paying her bail, there's no control in the relationship whatsoever, she refuses to meet you halfway on anything. I don't think she would be good. Is she better than someone who will literally kill you? Arguable. I will say yes. For the sake of it, I will say yes. But not by much. The fact that I have to make that distinction, I think makes a good point. Okay, next up is Kai'Sa. As bad as Kai'Sa is as of a character in terms of her lore and stuff, I actually think she would be a pretty decent wife. I think she has a similar issue to Amumu. Actually, no, I don't think I think it's sort of the similar benefit to Amumu, where probably pretty lonely, probably doesn't have a good grasp on, not civilization, but like interactions. But that's something you can work on together as a family. And, she's attractive. Can she take the bodysuit off? I don't know. I don't think it's much of a problem either way. But hey, if you can be living in a nightmare dimension for like 20 odd years and come out looking like this, you're clearly capable of a lot. That being said, I think she's an S tier. I can't think of a good reason she's not an S tier. She's not a criminal. She seems relatively level-headed. She could get a job. Yeah, I think she's a solid S tier. Next up is Callista. Callista is a spirit of vengeance, and that's not great. A specter of wrath and retribution, an undying spirit of vengeance, an armored nightmare summoned from the Shadow Islands to hunt deceivers and traitors. Well, I do like a woman who fights for the betrayed. I do like that. That being said, looks a little bit worse for wear, probably needs to get some food in her. Does not look great. She is also a ghost. We've had that problem before. Ghosts, not really good for sex in general. I don't know, she seems kind of married to her work, but there's also nothing wrong with her per se. There's some stuff wrong with her. I can think of a couple things wrong with her. I think I'm gonna put her above a Mumu. Yeah. she's probably a bit intense. Karma. Karma's another one of these like religious nuts, isn't she? I don't know that for a fact, but I think she is. Spiritual traditions of Ionia. Although there is a difference, we have to be clear, there is a difference between being a religious nut and just honoring the traditions of your people. And I think in that sense, Karma is probably a lot better than Diana and Alawi, because I get the feeling she's not a religious nut. She's not trying to bring on everybody over to this Ionian standard. That's her life. And I appreciate that, and I respect that, and, you know, I, as a husband, want to be supportive of my wife's culture. So, I think A tier. I think A tier is perfectly fine. She seems capable of a lot. Yeah, she seems capable of a lot. Put her there. Karthus, you are very similar to Callista in a lot of ways, aren't you? Harbinger of Oblivion, undying spirit whose haunting songs are a prelude to the horror of his nightmarish appearance. Yeah. 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 Sorry, Karthus. You are just death, though. Unfortunate. Next up, we are looking at Cassidon. He seems pretty cool. He's a dad, right? He knows his days are numbered. He's a traveled shroom guide and adventurer. Chosen to raise a family? Okay. So he's a known father. He's done this before. He's been on this rodeo before. Seems like a good enough husband, you know? Probably made some mistakes. Who hasn't? But all things considered, I can't think of a good reason. This seems like one I should get a little bit more information on, frankly. Seems like he'd be a pretty average husband. I say, might be a bit tough to talk to. I say we put him around where Jax is. I think that's fair. Katarina, isn't she like in a relationship with Garen or something? Something like that. Decisive in judgment, lethal in combat, Noxian assassin, eldest daughter. I mean, I don't think she's like bad to loved ones, but you know, separation of work and of love life, it's possible, but if you act one way, it's tough to not act that same way at home. And that being said, I don't think Katarina ranks that highly. I think she does rank above Callista. Honestly, I think she ranks above Jace. I think she ranks probably... I think her problems are similar to that of Gragas. I don't think she would kill her lover, but I don't think she would act particularly nicely in general, which I think is a similar problem to Gragas, where he's gonna cause problems with his drinking habits and stuff, and his aggressive nature. So there's that. Who's next even? Oh, Kale, another religious nut. League of Legends has a lot of religious nuts. I never really realized it until now, but there are a lot, huh? Fights for justice. Yeah, I don't know if there's too much to Kale. I think since she's the whole religious nut thing, she fits in a similar place to the other two. That being said, yeah, honestly, I think that's probably where she fits in best. Kane's pretty young. Kane is pretty young, I think. How young are you, Kane? A peerless practitioner of lethal shadow magic. You've got Rost. And Rost is a problem. Or Rost could not be a problem. No, Rost is probably going to be a problem. Just kind of edgy shitlord. If you happen to take over your scythe, you're still an edgy shitlord. If your scythe takes over you, I feel like very similar problem to Rost, where you're just going to kind of, you know, abuse me. I don't think Kane ranks highly. Where did I put Aatrox? Yeah. I think that's probably fair. I'll rank him slightly higher. I'll rank him here. I think between Cass and Gangplank is a decent spot. Next up we have Kennen. Kennen is another small animal boy. That being said, I think he's an adult. He's a ninja. You know, he's got enthusiasm, which is a good thing. You know, Kennen's aight. Nothing really wrong with Kennen, but I'm just not feeling it. I don't know why. No, I gotta give Kennen credit where he's due. I don't think there's anything wrong with Kennen. Not my style, but you know, you gotta share in the happiness of your significant others. And if the happiness of your significant other is using lightning magic and being a ninja, I respect that, you know? I respect that. He's not doing anything illegal. He's not gonna hurt you. I think he's a kind soul. I'll put him at the top of A tier. You know, as a show of goodwill to the Yordles, to show that I'm not ranking you based on the fact that you look like a pet, I'm gonna put Kennen at the bottom of S tier. Because I don't think there's anything fundamentally wrong with Kennen as a husband. I think it comes down to the fact that he kind of looks like a raccoon. And, you know, I know there are people who have the hots for Tom Nook, so as far as I'm concerned, there's nothing wrong with Kennen. He's cool. Yeah, I mean, you're not screwing Blitz, you're not screwing Kennen. I see no problem. I see no problem here. He seems perfectly nice. Kha'Zix. Okay. So Kha'Zix is going to rip you to shreds and eat you. Also, he is a disgusting bug. Bye. See you later. Kindred. Okay. I'm gonna out myself here. I think Kindred is attractive. Oops, I've said it. Hate comments incoming. No, it's fine. The big problem I think with Kindred, I think they're actually super I think they're very cool. I think Lamb would actually make a decent wife. She'd be, you know, a bit aloof, a bit, you know, not, you know, really engaged, but I still think she'd be a decent wife. I think Wolf is where the problems come in, because this is what we've seen a lot with, like, Jinx, and to some degree Echo, and a couple of these other ones, and that is that Wolf is just kind of aggressive, and what if he's a doggy, though? You know, what if he's a good doggy? If Wolf can be a good doggy, I think we can place them pretty high. But you do have that problem where you take one with the other, and it's a similar thing to Aphelios. That, like, are you getting into that drama? They have a similar I think they deserve it. I think they deserve C tier. I think they deserve above Aurelian Soul, because I don't think they're dickheads. I think they have a similar problem to Bard and Aurelian Soul, where they're sort of your outside of their like care sphere. But I think Lamb is a very reasonable spirit and could be a very reasonable wife. And I think that Wolf, if he's not Jinx levels of destructive, although he isn't he though? Are there any skins of Wolf being a good boy? I don't know. I remember they did the Spirit Blossom event, and Wolf was actually a fucking bro. So for that, now that I've remembered that, I'm actually gonna put them high C. I'm gonna put them at the top of C. Final answer, fuck you. Kled is not gonna do well. I love Kled. He's not gonna do well. He definitely beats his wife. He is ornery. He's a little raccoon man who's angry, is on several hit lists, is loathed by everybody, is probably not a good husband. I'm gonna put him at the top of D tier. Sorry, Kled, I love you, but holy shit, I love you as a character, not as a husband. Sorry, bud. Kog'Maw. Kog'Maw, again, you have more of this pet thing. Another one that's going to want to eat a lot. Kog'Maw, if this was a pet ranking, I could rank Kog'Maw pretty highly, I think, because the one problem would be the eating habits, but the inability for him to get a job, the inability for him to, you know, have a relationship that involves love or sex, the fact that he is a creature from a nightmare dimension that will probably kill me at some point in our relationship means I can't really rank him that highly. He is cuter than Kha'Zix, or he is cuter than Cho'Gath, though, so that's where we'll put him. LeBlanc is next up. LeBlanc is perfectly fine, looks-wise, but I'm pretty sure she's a bitch. She's a manipulator. She's a manipulator. She's a nasty person. I know that. I don't know much about her lore, but I do know that she's a nasty piece of work. And for that, I'm going to play her right above Cassie. There's, you know, I think it's very, very comparable to Cassie. Next up, we're going to be talking about Lee Sin. Now, I'm gonna separate myself again from the fact that I don't like playing this champion and I don't like playing against this champion, and look at him, how is he as a guy? He's a master of Ionia's ancient martial arts. He's a principled fighter who channels the essence of the dragon spirit to face any challenge. He lost sight many years ago, but he dedicated his life to... Honestly, Lee Sin seems like a good husband. I can't, yeah, I think Lee Sin's a straight up good husband. I'm gonna put him in S tier. Why not, right? There's no downside here. He can't see, but he's attractive and he seems very devoted. And I appreciate that. You know, I think the problem with A tier, there's a couple problems with A tier. One, there's a literal life and death issue in the case of, like, Ahri. You know, I think there's some criminal issues, there's some death issues. I think it comes down to personality, criminal, and bodily harm, I think, is the differentiator between S and A. And I don't think Lee Sin's a criminal. I don't think he's going to cause me any bodily harm. And I'm not going to die. And that's 3 positives. You know, I think if he gets angry, we can talk it out. And I appreciate that about him. God, I never thought I'd put Lee Sin in an S tier for anything, but apparently I'd marry him. You learned it here first. I learned it here first. Leona, you're similar to Diana, right? You're also kind of a nut. Yeah. That being said, I think she's less of a nut, but it's not really her fault, or rather, it's not really Diana's fault. I think it's just Leona doesn't need to be as much of a nut. Because she's surrounded by other nuts, but that's not great either. I think she's a B tier. I think, yeah. I think she's less of a bitch than Fiora, so I think that's fair. Okay, Lilia. How do you rate a girl that's half deer? I don't know. Am I weird for that? Like, I don't want to fuck a half deer lady, but I also don't really think I have a problem with it. Like, whatever, to each their own. She's intensely shy. She seems like a nice girl. She seems like a perfectly nice girl. I don't know her age. She acts sort of like a kid, sort of, but not too much. She's just kind of shy. There's nothing wrong with that. That being said, I don't think she makes it to S. There's just, I guess at the end of the day, it's the deer thing. She acts kind of young, and she's not really. I think there could be love. I think there could be love there, but it doesn't seem like it would be the most fulfilling thing. I'm gonna put her high A. I'm gonna put her above Jarvan. I don't care for Jarvan's personality. I think Lilia's personality is probably better than that, so I'll put her there. Now, Lissandra, though. Lissandra's kind of the opposite, right? In terms of personality, she's nasty, isn't she? Yeah, does something, makes stuff dark and terrible. She impales and crushes those who oppose her. She doesn't seem like she'd be good. She didn't seem like she'd be a good wife. It seems like if you disagree with her, she's gonna freeze you to death. It sounds like you're constantly living your life in fear, and that's not something I want to do. So I'm gonna put her in I'm gonna put her low C. Not quite as bad as girls that will literally kill me, although she will literally kill me, but not guaranteed. I think around where Aatrox is fair. Lucian. Lucian's gonna be a good husband, right? The only problem with Lucian is that, you know, if you end up getting your soul stolen, there's not much he's gonna do about it. Yeah. No, Lucian is probably a pretty good husband. I'm gonna throw Lucian in S tier. Let's put him right here. Yeah. Blitz should probably be lower. Let's put Blitz there. Lee Sin should probably be higher, all things considered. Yeah. I think that's fair. Moving on to Lulu. Okay, Lulu is... bit torn on Lulu. Again, kid thing, not taking that into account. She is a consenting adult, as far as I'm aware. It's still kind of weird, but that being said, there are short girls. It happens. Now that I'm thinking about it, though, Lulu has another big problem, and she's probably kind of low-key insane. Probably kind of high-key insane. Probably not going to respect you as a person very much. She's constantly high. Probably going to use you for experiments. I can't see her being very caring. I really can't. I see her being kind of a bit too out of her mind to be in a stable relationship. That being said, I think she's going to be in C tier. I don't think she has a personality problem. But I think there's potential. I think there is potential for her not respecting you as a person and doing horrible things to you potentially. Not nearly as potential as a lot of these other ones on the lower on the list, but I think it's there. Lux. Okay, I think Lux is good. I can't unless unless this short blurb has something really negative to say about Lux. No. I think Lux is pretty ideal. I mean, you think about it, she's a go-getter. You know, there's all the stuff with her magic that she wasn't allowed to have her magic, but she pushed through it, you know? And she did it on her own time, which it could be a bad thing, but I also see it as goal orientation. You know, she's oriented on her goals, and she seems like a genuinely nice person. I don't think there's any, I know that her laugh is sort of psychotic and annoying, but I think Lux as a person is probably actually pretty chill and pretty cool, and probably pretty understanding given what she's had to go through, with, you know, having to keep her powers secret. Are there any downsides to Lux? Not really. I don't think there are any downsides to Lux. No, I don't believe there are. Not that I can think of. So next up we are talking about Malphite. Malphite, he's a big rock. He struggles to impose blessed order on a chaotic world. Feel that. Malphite's in mood. Yeah, I mean, he's a big rock, but he seems like a nice guy. I'm gonna put him right here. I think, you know, big rock, living, doll, both have probably pretty good personalities. I think that's a fair place for them. That being said, Malzahar is next. Is Malzahar a dickhead? I can't remember. I can't remember if Malzahar's a dickhead. He's a zealous seer, dedicated to the unification of all life. Okay, well, you've already netted yourself at best a B tier slot. That being said, I think you're below Lulu. I think there's a very similar problem to Lulu, where very well could use me in experiments. Now, Maokai, I don't remember about Maokai. I'm tempted to put Maokai pretty high, but I don't remember if they've made him more angry or less angry. He's a rageful, towering treant. He was twisted into a form of vengeance. Okay, so he's pretty angry. That's unfortunate. I liked him when he was less angry, but That's probably still fine. I mean, he's pissed, dude. He's pissed. Let's put him there. Master Yi is next. Is there gonna be anything wrong with Master Yi? Nothing off the top of my head. Seems like a perfectly good husband. Chooses violence only as a last resort. I appreciate that in a man. That means that if we have an argument, we're gonna be able to handle it. Good body. Definitely could work a job. Honestly, I can see him cooking every once in a while. I feel like I would not have to be the one doing all the laundry. He seems like he would actually be a pretty good husband, all things considered. I can see him being reasonable as a person. I'm putting him pretty high. Hey, let's move you down here. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's good. Okay, Misfortune. Misfortune, you are hot, but you are also another one of those people who betrays people, right? I know you betrayed Gangplank, but that's because he killed your parents. Feared for her ruthlessness. Stark figure among the hardened criminals. Witnessed to rape her Gangplank, murder her family. Acted. Is she brutally repaid or something? Yeah. I mean, the question we have to ask ourselves is, she's attractive. It's probably going to be pretty good sex. Is it better or worse than Ari? I think that's the question we have to ask. And I think probably better, because she's not killing you, and probably to somebody she cares about, she's probably not going to be ruthless. So I think probably better than Ari. I think below Jarvan still, despite Jarvan's personality problems. I think Misfortune has a similar issue there. Oh boy, we're into daddy. We're into daddy zone. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, you're gonna be hard to place because you are daddy, but you are also all evil, aren't you? Yeah. Oh boy, I get the feeling Mordekaiser's gonna have to be down here. Sorry, Mord. Sorry, bud. But you are, I'm pretty sure, evil incarnate. Morgana bound her wings to embrace humanity. Well, I'm humanity and I like hugs. So, big plus for Morgana right off the bat. Inflicts her pain and bitterness upon the dishonest and corrupt. Okay. Rejects laws and traditions she believes are unjust. Well, now hold on. Does that make her above the law? Because if that makes her above the law, that's not great. I'm going to give Morgana the benefit of the doubt. I'm definitely going to say she's going to be a better wife than Kayle. We know she can cook from that one skin. We know she's a good cook. Or is she not a good cook? I don't remember. Maybe she's shit cook in that skin. Regardless, I actually think she's going to be a pretty solid A tier. Put her right near Karma. We'll put Karma above. I think just in case. We don't know quite what her deal is. Nami! I love Nami. I love playing as Nami. I don't know if she's a bitch. I don't think she is. I think she's quite nice, right? She's a headstrong young Vastaya. So, from what I understand of her lore, didn't she I'm pretty sure Nami saved her people because no one would do a spooky thing, and she went and she did a spooky thing and saved her people. And I can respect that, and I can appreciate that. And hey, I have a thing for mermaids. I think mermaids are really cute. So, A. Is there any reason to not put her in S? Any reason? Any reason at all? It's not gonna hurt me. Not gonna kill me. There is definitely love. There is definitely sexual component. Capable. Does she need water? She floats around without water, so I think she doesn't need water. But if there's water, that does place lower. Because that's going to make a job outside of SeaWorld harder for her. But otherwise, I actually think Ami would actually probably be a pretty solid S tier. I'm going to put her right I'll put her right there. She seems like a nice person. She seems like a genuinely nice person, a genuinely nice wife to have. Nasus is a dog, which, you know, not going to rate him based on that, but he is a dog, just point of order. He's an imposing jackal-headed ascended being from ancient Shurima, so he's sort of a god. Okay. He's fiercely intelligent. I like that in a man. He's a guardian of knowledge and peerless strategist whose wisdom guided... Nasus! I didn't know you were gonna up and sweep me off my feet like this. I thought you were just a dog man, but apparently you are a very intelligent dog man. And I get the feeling you treat a lady right. I'm gonna put Nasus in a... Is there a negative to Nasus? The negative to Nasus is that he's an animal, isn't it? That is the main negative. But we do have Blitzcrank in S. So, you know, I think similar to Blitz, peerless strategist, guardian of knowledge, Nasus kind of a dreamboat. Never realized it. Nasus kind of a dreamboat. Nautilus, though, I think is going to be the opposite end of the spectrum, where I think going into it, I'm going to like him, and then I'm going to realize he's a vengeful spirit of the waves or something. Driven by forgotten betrayal, he strikes without warning. Okay, yeah, so Nautilus, we got some issues. A, you're pretty big. B, you're unpredictable. C, pretty sure you're a ghost. You know my feelings on ghosts is that they're not available emotionally, so I'm gonna put you in the C tier, right near Callista, below Callista. That's how it goes. Nico, I think, has a similar problem to a lot of these champions, that she's kind of a kid, very Lilia-ish. She can turn into anyone. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Being able to turn into anyone is a benefit, I think. That being said, doesn't seem like she'd be too invested, just because she's not fully there, I think. I think it'd be similar to Lilia in a lot of ways. Where's Lilia? Where'd I put her? Where'd I put Lilia? There she is. Yeah, maybe slightly lower. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's fair. If not, who cares? Okay, Nidalee. Nidalee, you're attractive, but you're also... I think there's a problematic aspect to you. I don't know off the top of my head, but I think there's probably a problematic aspect to you. A master tracker who can shapeshift, neither holy woman nor beast. She viciously defends her territory. Okay. That being said, I like a woman who can take care of herself. I don't much care for you turning into an animal, but you are hot, and you are, I think, a solid A tier. A solid A tier pick here. Probably above a lot of these. I'll put you right under Graves. I think that's fair. I think attractiveness-wise, in that range of Graves to Misfortune, and personality-wise, probably better than Misfortune. Probably similar to Graves. Probably similar. Nocturne is a nightmare demon, and that's not boding well for him. That is not boding well for him. Demonic amalgamation drawn from the nightmares that haunt every sentient mind. A primordial force of pure evil. Liquidly chaotic in aspect. Faceless shadow with cold eyes. Yeah, I think we've read enough. Okay. Now, Nunu is a child, and this is a problem. I don't like rating children. I don't. But we did it with Annie, and we're going to do it again. We're going to take it step by step and consider the facts about Nunu and Willump. There was a boy who lost his mom. There's going to be mommy issues. You know there's going to be mommy issues. There's the thing with Willump. They're best friends. You don't want to turn that into a triangle. Also, one of them is a big beast. The other one's a little boy. Nunu seems like a nice enough kid. Willump seems like a nice enough beast. But you have the Aphelios problem of having the three of them. You've got the dead mommy issues. You got the fact that you are a kid. That being said, I think you're at the top of D tier. I think you are at the top of D tier, Nunu. Despite the fact that you are a child, still probably would rather spend my life with you and Willem than I would with Kled. Probably. Okay, who's this dickhead? I don't remember his name. Olaf, that's his name. He wants nothing more than to die in glorious combat. That doesn't bode well for a relationship, Olaf. Olaf, have you considered settling down? Because it sounds like you haven't. It sounds like you're just constantly angry and want to die in glorious combat, which is not something that we're going to have at the dinner table. So for that reason, I'm going to put you right around Aatrox. Yeah, I think that's fair. You probably don't beat me. I probably don't need to live in fear around you. But you see, yeah, I think Olaf Gangplank is a good comparison. Next up is Oriana. Oriana, the Lady of Clockwork. Once a curious girl of flesh and blood, she got cancer and got turned into a robot, right? Yeah. Yeah, and unlike Blitzcrank, see, Oriana does have the thing. I know she has some lines about, like, human flesh and stuff, so not boding well for Ori. I think she's a nice girl, but I think there are some problems with the robot stuff. I think there's an air of robots are superior, which I'm not getting that vibe from Blitz. Blitz seems like an all-around cool dude. Ori seems less so. Gonna place you around where I place Camille. Oh boy, Ornn is next. If Ornn's not in S tier, I'm gonna be surprised. You're a god. That's a good thing. You're a blacksmith. Boom. Job prospects done. He's kind of a dickhead, but he's a lovable dickhead, and it's a stable relationship. It's an incredibly stable relationship, I think. I think Ornn is very solid S. Very solid S. I mean, if we got Ali up here, I think we got Ornn up here. I guess he's kind of rough around the edges, so maybe let's move him a bit down. But not by much. Not by much. Pantheon. I don't know what they changed about Pantheon. They changed him a decent bit, I think. Once an unwilling host to the aspect of war. Okay, so is he an unwilling host? Or was he once an unwilling host? What changed? He embraced the power of his own mortality. Okay. Well, that's not much to go off of. You don't seem like a bad guy, per se. But I'm getting a similar Olaf vibe to you. Probably more chill than Olaf, but probably not by much. Is pretty attractive, all things considered, but also not entirely clear on how human you are. So I think B tier is a good place for you. Right above. Yeah. Yep. Works for me. Works for me. There's always the problem with these lists where the further in you get, you realize that you maybe rated things too highly or too low before, but I don't give a shit. This is the definitive list, so get over it. Poppy is a very tenacious, valiant, young woman. She's got the hammer. Look, I love Poppy. She's a sweet darling. She's a sweet darling. She, is not sure of herself, because she doesn't realize she's the hero, but she's a damn nice lady, and she's cute, and the one problem is the fact that she's a Yordle, and as I've said, I'm not really judging that against the Yordles. I think Poppy's good. I think if Kennen's an S tier, I think Poppy's definitely an S tier. In fact, I think, yeah. Why is Lux here? Like, why isn't Lux higher? I mean, I should probably put Lux above the ones that we're not, having sex with. Are we having sex with the rest of these? Ooh, Ornn. Ornn and Alistair raise some questions. Are they animals? Are they humans? It's unclear. They're fine where they are. Don't worry. Don't think about it too much. Oh boy, Pike. Pike, you are here and you are potentially a problem. Oh, Pike. Renowned harpooner for the slaughter ducks. Yeah, you're a huge murderous dickhead. Sorry, bud. not sorry, bud. I like you a lot as a champion. I think you're super cool. I think you got an interesting story, but not a good husband. Not a good husband, bud. Murder. Kiana, she's like she's royalty, but she's bitch royalty. She's not good royalty. You know, brash confidence. Yeah, I mean, you tell me. Is she attractive? I don't think Kiana's unattractive. I think probably she's actually pretty conventionally attractive. I think that's one of the problems that a lot of people had with this champion release, is that she was just conventionally attractive for no good reason. But there's that personality issue. There's that big personality issue. Just an unpleasant person. Unpleasant person. I think here's what we're going to do. We're going to move Fiora down a bit. Oh, God, Alawi will probably hurt us, though, right? Yeah, I think Kiana goes there. No. Yeah. Because, like, yeah, she won't need a job. She's going to have a lot of money. She's not going to hurt you. I don't think she's going to hurt you. She's just going to be a bitch. And it'll be unfulfilling in some ways, but in other ways it will be pretty fulfilling. Yeah. I think that works. Honestly, she should probably be higher. There's no real problems with her. It's fine. Quinn, what is up? She share an unbreakable bond. Well, that's look. I don't want jealousy to be involved, but I'm just saying, what about me? You know? I mean, Quinn seems nice. Quinn seems like a nice lady, and you know, nothing wrong with someone having a good relationship with their pet. I take it back. That's not an issue at all. Let's give her an A tier. Let's put her right here. Put her right here. Rakan and Zaya, we need to assume. I know that so much of their plot line is that they are together, but we need to assume for the sake of this that they're not, because we have to put ourselves in the place of the other one. That being said, Rakan is... That's the thing. If Rakan was just by himself, I would say he's definitely going to cheat on you, but he is shown to be loyal to Zaya, so I gotta give him the benefit of the doubt that he would be. That being said, he's very full of himself, but he seems like a good husband, all things considered. I think he's I don't like the personality trait. I don't. That's the main problem, I think, is how full of himself he is. Despite the fact that he is a loving husband and he is attractive, let's give him a low S tier. Why not? You know, I can't think of a real problem with him. The personality issue isn't major. Okay, Rammus is just overall, he's going to be okay. If this guy doesn't end up in B tier, I don't know where the hell he's going to end up. He's, you know, an enigma. He just kind of goes where he wants, and he does that. Kind of the Bard issue. That being said, I think he's going to respect you as a person, unlike Bard. I think Bard, there's not really room in his galaxy brain for you. Rammus, I think, would be a decent hubby. Probably not going to be getting a job, but I can see him coming home for dinner once in a week. Not gonna be around for the kids, which you are adopting. Let me be clear: you are adopting the children if Rammus is your husband. That is the only option. But I think he's a B tier. I think he's just okay. Let's put him here. Let's put him here. Yeah. Okay, Rek'Sai. Rek'Sai is gonna be an issue potentially. Very possibly an issue with Rek'Sai. Apex Predator, Merciless Void Spawn, Devours Unsuspecting Prey, Insatiable Hunger. Okay, so we've got a lot of the same problems that we have with the other Void creatures. A, you're a Void creature. B, you have an Unsatiable Hunger. C, you're probably just gonna kill me at some point. So yeah, I'm gonna put you here. Yeah. Okay, Rel. I think Rel's a kid. Not entirely sure. Living weapon determined to topple Noxus. childhood and misery and horror, enduring unspeakable procedures. Well, that's just unfortunate. It makes you feel bad for her. And I've played as her a few times, and her personality-wise, she seems nice. She seems just like kind of out of it, not super aware of how to deal with people, but I don't think she's bad. Again, echo issue in that she's a bit young. But other than that, I actually think she's a lot better than Echo in terms of personality. So I'm actually going to rank her above Jace. Now, Renekton is, I think, going to be the opposite of Nasus, if I had to guess, and would say that he's probably going to be ranked pretty lowly. Terrifying Rage-filled Ascended being from the Scorched Depths. He was Empire's most esteemed warrior. So it sounds like he's a crocodile dickhead. Sounds like he's a real crocodile dickhead. So let's put him with our other dickheads. Where are our other dickheads? They're all over the place. Let's put him near Olaf. He seems similar to Olaf in terms of personality. And he's not humanoid. Point against him. Sorry. I love champions that aren't humans in game, but in terms of husband wife, humanoid is preferred, and a lot of times. Rengar's a ferocious thing. Yeah, he kills people. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, bud. Don't fuck the kitty. Don't fuck the murder kitty. Don't do it. Riven. I don't know where I'm gonna put you, Riven. She wrote, yeah. She seems like a okay person. I don't know if there's much of a personality issue here. She's driven, and I do like a lady that's driven. I think Riven fits in a similar position to these two. She's an exile. Has she done anything illegal? She's probably done some illegal stuff, which, makes her similar to Graves. But I don't think she's illegal for the sake of illegal, which I think Graves is. So I think where she is fine. Rumble, I don't think you can be saved from the Yordle thing. I think you're gonna have that issue. Young inventor with a temper, not looking good. You're like a poor man's Heimerdinger. You're like a poor man's Heimerdinger. You don't got the money. You don't got nearly as much brains as I'm guessing. He's nice to Tristana, which I guess if you're the object of his affection, he's a cool dude, but just kind of a poor man's Heimerdinger. For that, I'm going to put you in B tier. I'm going to put you right below Diana. Yeah, no, she's a religious nut. Yeah, let's put him there. Let's put Rumble there. Let's do it. In case you've forgotten, this list is completely objective. Nothing subjective about this list. Absolutely. Rise is a hard-a-bidden archmage with an impossibly heavy burden to bear. Well, let me help you, Rise. Rise, let's do this together. I don't know. Rise is cute. He's kind of got the personality problems that Ornn has, but I think Ornn is good enough to be in an S tier. I think Rise is between Rammus and Ornn, where he's gonna be out the house a lot. Probably not gonna be getting a job, but I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. Then we put him here. I think he could be loving when he's not thinking about his duty. His duty. Good God. Is this video like 2 hours or something? This is a long video. Let's split it up into parts. Samira. You are a thief or something, right? Cute. Probably cheats. I think she's probably similar to Draven, but not as much of a pain in the ass as Draven. So I'm gonna put you right around where Rammus is. It's probably pretty good. Next up is Sejuani. Coming up on the end, pretty close here. No, we're not. Never mind. We still got a ways to go. Sejuani is a brutal, unforgiving Iceborn war mother of the Winter Claw, one of the most feared tribes of the Felnyard. I mean, she seems like a pretty cool chick, I think similar to Ashe. I think probably she's more war hungry than Ash, which is going to be lower, but not that much. She knows how to lead her people, and I can respect that. I think she's going to be an A tier. I'm going to put her under Nidalee. No, I'm not. Yeah. Not as hot as Graves. Man, Graves would be so much lower if I wasn't incredibly attracted to him, huh? That's what you get. That's what you get. Objective list, again, by the way. Incredibly objective. In case you'd forgotten. Senna, you are a ghost. You're cursed from childhood. Soul imprisoned in a lantern. Yeah, but I mean, you're a good wife. I mean, despite the fact that you're a ghost, you're a kick-ass wife. If Lucian's S, you're S. Straight up. Set. Set's got the same problem as, Set's got the same issue as... Wait, did we just skip Seraphine? Whatever. Draven. The Draven problem. He loves his mama. That could be a problem with the in-laws, depending on how me and mama get along. He's hot. He's hot, but there's that mama issue. Doing illegal stuff. Probably cheating on me. Yeah, I mean... Why did I rank Ari so high? I think... I keep looking at this and thinking I ranked Ari too high based on where I'm ranking other people. I think the main thing about Ari, my thought process there was, if her whole shtick is doing the sex good, it's gonna be amazing sex. And so that's gonna be worth dying for. Because I feel like a lot of these, like the Draven and gang, I just feel like they're gonna be less interesting to talk to and less interesting to bed. And they don't really have a positive to them other than being hot. That being said, Set does have a lot going for him, but he also has a lot not going for him. I think I'll place him roughly where that is. Okay, now we got Seraphine. I did the alphabet backwards in my head. It's fine. Seraphine, look. Say what you will about her as a character. Does she fit in the League of Legends universe? Not really. But she kind of does fit in the universe of being my wife. Not a bad wife. She can sing, so she's got her job. She's a pop star. Down-to-earth girl, chasing her dreams. You know, I can respect that. Did murder all the Brackern. I don't think she did that, though. I don't think we can blame that on her, can we? I think yeah, I mean, she just seems like kind of a pure-hearted chick. Nothing wrong with that. Maybe kind of annoying, but... I don't see a negative. I don't see a negative. I don't know how old she is. She might not be old enough to legally get engaged to, but I'm gonna assume at least 18 for the sake of my own sanity, just because it's not worth thinking about it more. Shaco, I don't even need to look at Shaco. I'll pull up Shaco just because I've pulled up everybody else, but this is a murder clown. He's gonna murder me. He's a clown. There's nothing hot about this. It's awful. It's awful. Look at this. It's awful. Nope. See you later, Shaco, bitch. Alright, Shen. It's nice when they're nice and easy like that. I appreciate that. I think Seraphine, I think a big point in her favor is that she's a nice person and there's gonna be a lot of money coming in. Shen is the leader of the Kinko. He longs to remain free from the confusion of emotion, prejudice, and ego. Oh, emotion. Free from emotion, Shen. Ooh, that's not a point in your favor, bud. It's not. I like that you're free from prejudice and ego. I do like that. I don't like the idea that you've locked your heart away from love. I'm going to put you high A tier. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I think we can work on that, Shen. I think we can, love. You seem like a nice guy. Next up is Shyvana. She's a dragon. Not necessarily a deal breaker. Not necessarily. A creature with the magic of a rune shard burning within her heart. Take her true form. It's a fearsome dragon. She served Jarvan. She seems nice. She doesn't seem like a bad lady. Yeah. Sure, she's a dragon, but honestly, in a lot of ways, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. She's a humanoid and a kick-ass dragon. I see this as a win. Let's put her up here. Yep. Singed, mad scientist. Not a good look. Not a good look. We don't place those highly, bud. Do not place those highly. Alchemist of unmatched intellect, who has devoted his life to pushing the boundaries of knowledge, with no price, even his own sanity. Yeah. Not looking good for you, Singed. Not looking good for you, Singed. I mean, you kind of fall into the Mundo trap. Here. I think the beings of pure evil should probably go below Singed. Yeah. Okay, now Scion is a zombie. Now, if there's one thing that anime has taught me, it's that zombies are not always bad. Zombies can actually be pretty cute. So, Scion, you're not out of it yet. Although you are out of it now that I'm seeing that you have indiscriminate slaughter, and I do know that you scream really loud and kill people kind of just whenever you want, and that's not great. So we're gonna place you right above Fizz, because fuck Fizz. Sivir's gonna be fine. I don't think Sivir will be too low. I think Sivir's... I mean, she's got some issues. I think she's got some Samira issues. Man, a lot of these champions are similar. Does Riot just not do a great job of differentiating their characters all the time, huh? I guess it's true. I guess it's hard when you have 155 of the fucks, but... Renowned fortune hunter and a mercenary captain who plies her trade in the deserts of Shurima. Fought and won countless battles. For those who can... Yeah, I mean... She's cute. She's cute, and, I mean, she's a mercenary, so very similar to Samira in that sense. I've never thought about how similar Sivir is to Samira, huh? I've never thought about it. That being said, I think I am going to place you slightly higher. I think I'm actually going to place Sivir a lot higher. I like Sivir. What can I say? What can I say? I like Sivir. Objective list. No. I feel like both of these should be higher, all things considered. Below Alawi or above Alawi? That is the real question here. I think above Alawi. I don't think they're gonna hurt me. Skarner! Oh, Skarner, you poor child. You're not a child, but you might as well be. Because I don't think you're gonna rank super highly, bud. You're an immense crystalline scorpion from a hidden valley in Shurima. You will have great wisdom, but you are a crystal scorpion. You're very sad. I don't think you're a bad husband by any sense, but I also don't think you're gonna be a great one. Honestly, you know what? No, I think if Anivia is high B, I think Skarner is high B. I think very similar in that, you know, there's no sexual involvement, but I think there can be love and I think there can be good talks. So you know what, Skarner? I take it back. Who is next? Is it Sona? I think Sona might be next. And if so... Yep, Sona's next. Okay, alright. I mean, I gotta hand it to folks. If Sona's your waifu, I think you've got a pretty good waifu here. She, you know, she's mute, and that's... I mean, some might say that's a good thing. I don't think that's a good thing. I like to be able to talk to people, but, you know, you can always get around that. You can learn sign language. She's a beautiful musician. She's beautiful and she's good at music, so both ways that you can think about it. Very, very pretty girl, very pretty music. Definitely has a job as a performer. She's probably, you know, working at one of those concert halls or whatever. And she's just a sweet lady. I think Sona's definitely like up there. I think Sona's very high up there. Let's put her there. I think that works. Soraka. Oh, we are getting close. It's nice that we're getting close. I'm ready to be done. You get to watch this in multiple parts. I get to make this in one. Fun, fun, fun. Okay, Soraka. You are a wanderer from the celestial dimensions. She gave up her immortality to protect the mortal races. As a mortal, I'm thankful. From their own and more violent instincts. So endeavors to spread the virtues of compassion and mercy. This sounds like a Doctors Without Borders kind of gal. I can get behind that. That being said, I think part of Soraka's lore is that she sort of sees herself above humans because she's like a goddess who came down and like is helping us. That is not a point in her favor. I think a very nice gal, but that being said, I don't think she can hit the same level as, say, Nami, because she does have some level of superiority complex that I don't see with Nami so much. Even Nasus, I think it's not there as much. That being said, I think she's probably a really high A tier. Seems like a really nice gal. Swain is probably not going to be rated highly. Swain's got the LeBlanc issue, just sort of conniving asshole, despite the fact that he's pretty hot. Left arm severed, seized control with ruthless determination. I do like a determined man. I do like that. That being said, you do have a demon inside of you. You are a sexy old man, but you do have a demon inside you, and I'm pretty sure you will betray me. That being said, though, you are hot. I don't think it's as bad as Gragas. I think probably even Katarina, probably even Rel. Yeah, I think right above the trio of sort of ghostly dickheads is a good spot for you, Swain. Silas is next, and Silas is a character I know very little about. He's raised in one of Demasia's lesser quarters. He's come to symbolize the darker side of the great city. His ability to root out hidden sorcery. Okay. He's problematic, I think. He's hot. Don't get me wrong. He is hot. But he's problematic, I think. I don't remember why. How does he feel about people? That's really what it comes down to, isn't it? How does he feel about the common man? Me, the common man, you know? You know, I haven't gone. Silas is one champion I would like to do a deeper dive on, just to really get a better sense of who he is as a person, but I haven't done it for anybody else. I'm not going to start doing it now because this is the objectively best list. Therefore, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. Say he's pretty chill. Give him above Garen. I'll put him there. He's hot, and you know, he was a prisoner. Probably some good, probably some bad. I think he might be kind of a... I know one thing about him. He uses Lux, right? He what's the word I'm looking for? Sort of not abuses. It manipulates. I think he's sort of manipulative. So, you know, I'm gonna assume he was maybe a little bit and not place finesse, but I don't know more than that. So, there we go. That works. Syndra. Another hot champion that probably can't get placed too high, huh? Because sex isn't the only thing that matters. Fearsome Ionian mage with incredible power at her command. She disturbed the village elders. That's fucked up. She was sent away until greater control. Okay, from what I understand, she's kind of a psycho. She's a psycho that can step on me, but she's still kind of a psycho. And that I do not think makes a good wife. A good one-night stand, perhaps, but this is not about one-night stands. And for that, I think I'm going to rate her above the ladies that will literally kill me. I think she fits in the range of ladies that will I need to be scared of and will probably abuse me. Tom Kench is going to be tough. I never considered this. I never considered that I would have to rate Tom Kench, but now that I'm rating Tom Kench, I'm realizing that this is going to be really tough. He's a demon. He's going to feed on my misery. He's a catfish. God, he's charming, though. Wow, I mean, he can sweep me off my feet, but he's an enormous asshole, isn't he? Is he a D-tier asshole? That is the question we must ask ourselves. Probably. I'm not into the Vor thing either. Not into the vor thing either. Can Tom truly love? That is the question we must ask ourselves. Because if Tom can truly love, he would probably actually be an okay husband. Because, you know, he would do his demon shit with other people, but you and him, you'd be close. I get the feeling that that's not gonna happen. I'm gonna place him in the C tier. The question is, who is he similar to in the C tier? I think worse than Bard. Oh, it's tough. He's charming, but I think there's definitely a negative thing there. He's not working in your best interest, and if you want to keep a relationship going for a long time, you need that. Sorry, Tom. Your silver tongue won't get you nowhere today. That's not true. Got him into C tier. Frankly, probably should have been D, all things considered, but here I am. Talia, you're a kid. But you seem like a perfectly nice kid. Nothing particularly wrong with you. Where did I rate the other kid? Echo's here. Probably better than Echo. Rel's up here. I think probably around where Rel is. Seems fair. I mean, I think assuming they're similar ages, so we're just assuming the age isn't the issue. Looking at their personalities, they're probably pretty close. Talon is a piece of shit, from what I remember. Merciless killer, strike without warning. Yeah, I mean, you're the Assassin's Creed guy. How would you do with the wife? Unclear. Similar to Katarina. I think it's a similar issue to Katarina. So next we're looking at Tarek. And Tarek, I think, I think Tarek's going to be placed highly either way. I think the big thing that's going to distinguish Tarek from S to A is how he feels about humans, because I know he's more godly at this point. Shamed by a dereliction of duty and exiled. Okay, well, it doesn't say here, unfortunately. It's unclear how he feels about humans, if he feels that they're beneath him or not. He kind of looks like they are, but also, look at him. Look at him, though. I think he's making it to S. I should probably rank Seraphine higher. Yeah, let's put Tarek here. Yeah. And Rakan, yeah, I should keep Rakan at the bottom. Teemo. Okay, so Teemo's another one that I'm just going to pull up for the sake of it. Teemo is a psychopath. He's basically the problems I have with Lulu, but far worse. Also, unlike the female Yordles, who at least look sort of human, even if they do look kind of childish, Teemo just kind of looks like another raccoon, and unlike Kennen, who seems like a genuinely nice person, Teemo is all the worst aspects of Bard, except also much worse, because it's not neutral, it's negative. Sorry, Teemo. You're probably not going to kill me, but you're roughly around where Jinx is. Thresh. You are a bad guy, but I do remember you from that Spirit Blossom event where you were pretty chill, I think. I never fully got my head around whether Thresh was being manipulative or actually just kind of chill. He's sadistic and cunning, ambitious and restless spirit. Yeah, I mean, he used to stain yourself by tormenting and breaking others. Thresh, I cannot give you the benefit on the doubt of that. That does not sound good for you, bud. Does not sound good for you. Sorry, my friend. I really wanted to give you the benefit of the benefit of the doubt, Thresh. I think you're a cool guy, but apparently you're not. Many other Yordles channeled their energy into discovery and invention or just plain mischief-making. Tristana is always inspired by the adventures of great warriors. She's a cool chick. She gets stuff done. I think she's similar to Lulu in a lot of ways in terms of the potential problems with wifing them. But I think unlike Lulu, probably more respect for you as a person. Not going to be doing much experimentation on you. Just seems a lot more down to earth. I don't really see much wrong with Tristana. I think Tristana's got a great personality. I'm gonna rate her right below Graves. Yep. That's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do. She just seems like a nice gal. Frankly, if Kennen's up there, she should... Is she that different from Kennen? That's the real question. What does Kennen have that she doesn't? What do Kennen and Poppy have that she doesn't? Not much. Not much, really, when you think about it. Are there any problematic aspects to her? I mean, she's a fighter, obviously, but who isn't in this game? And in some of these champions, it comes into their lives. Like I think with Darius, or Riven, or Garen, it's more so a part of their life. But I think with Tristana, it could just be part of the job. Kind of getting some Ezreal vibes, but all things considered, I think similar enough to Poppy and Kennen. I think Poppy of the Yordles is definitely the top tier one in terms of wife potential, just because of her personality. But in terms of Kennen, I don't think Trist loses out at all. Trundle is a hulking and devious troll with a particularly vicious streak. That's not great. That's not great. Trundle. It's not great news. Why have you done this? Why have you done this? Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna put you above Fizz. I'm gonna put you above Scion. But I don't think I'm gonna place you higher than that. Alright, Trend. Alright, Trend. What is up? Fueled by unbridled fury and rage, carved his way through the friendly horde, openly challenging the greatest warriors. Okay, so at least for Tryndamere, we need to consider the fact that he is a family man. I don't know if that's true, but he's a canonical husband to Ashe, and she seems pretty chill. He seems less chill. He does seem less chill, definitely. That being said, I don't think there's anything particularly wrong with him, so I think a B tier would fit for Trend. What have I done? I need to be here. A B tier for Tryndamere. Below B tier. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with him, right? Just kind of angry. Angry but known husband. Works for me. Fuck, what have I done? No, I went back too many times. Okay, Twisted Fate. Let's talk Twisted Fate. Twisted Fate, kind of the same issues that we have with... Oh, there's so many left. Crap. Same problem we have with Graves, in that he's swindler, gambler. He is charming. He is hot. But that's the thing, though, is he doesn't seem to have the honor among thieves that Graves has, and that's a point against him, despite the fact that he is similarly attractive. For that, I am going to rank him down a couple of spots. Let's put him below Jarvan. I think comparing him to Misfortune is fair. Now moving on to Twitch. Twitch, I like you as a champion, probably one of my favorite ADCs. That being said, yeah, I think you're not a good husband. A connoisseur of filth by passion. Yeah. You don't want to track that in the house. He's gonna smell. He's a rat. It's not good. It's not looking good for him. I'm honestly placing him below Annie. Believe it or not. I don't care if he's an adult. He's a smelly rat. Sorry, bud. Not a good husband. The Febreze is not gonna help with Twitch. Not gonna get a job, nothing. Just kind of a layabout, kind of a shitty layabout when you think about it. Edir is more than a man. You've got my attention. He's a vessel for the untamed power. When tapping into them, he can harness their unique strengths. Okay, all right. You know what? You've caught my attention. I'm gonna place you right there. Actually, right there. Slightly better than Udyr. Or slightly better than Tryndamere, I think. Urgot, okay. Urgot, you are probably going to be an issue. Once a powerful Noxian headman, betrayed by the Empire, for which he had killed so many. Forestalling the true man. He's scary. Okay, he's a big man and he's a scary man, and I'm not convinced he will not murder me. So, I'm gonna place him down here with Scion. I'm gonna place him below Scion, actually. Fuck Fizz. Fuck Fizz, I cannot say that enough times. Varus. Okay, Varus is an interesting one, because Varus has a similar problem to Aphelios, where it's definitely a couple of guys, but at least it's not family issues, you know? You gotta consider that. One of the Ancient Darkin, deadly killer, loved to torment his foes, driving them almost to insanity. Oh, that's no good. That's no good. So is Varus is two gay guys and a Darkin, right? So who is is there a one personality that's at the top or not? Because I think that changes my answer here. This being said, it sounds like Varus is the Darkin itself, which makes me think the Darkin is the primary personality here. And if that's the case, I think he goes below Cain. Probably similar to Aatrox. He is a hotter, in my opinion, than Aatrox, but yeah. Vayne. Vayne seems like another one that's going to be tough to separate work from life. I don't think she's bad, per se. Don't think she's bad. She's a badass lady. I like that. Vayne gives me Bayonetta vibes, in a lot of sense. Mossy Monster Hunter. Dedicated her life to finding and destroying the demon that murdered her family. Like I said, can't get work and life away from each other. Vayne. I just don't think you have it in you to start a family. I really don't. Let's find someone similar. Honestly, I think you're better than a lot of these. The question is... I think I'm gonna place you above Jace. Because you're not a bad person, but I think the problem with you that the C tiers above you don't have is that they can, you know, they can have a home life, and I don't think you're capable of that. It's a real shame, Van. I wanted good for you. Vhagar, man, Vhagar, I love you, but I'm pretty sure you're pure evil, aren't you? I'm pretty sure you've devolved into pure evil. I don't think you necessarily started out as pure evil. I think you've gotten to the point where you definitely cannot harbor love. So, I'm gonna place you roughly around where we placed Karthus. Yeah, I think. He's cute though. He's a lot cuter, but he would not be a good husband. He would be abusive. Will he hurt me? I don't think he'll necessarily hurt me right off the bat. I'm gonna move Twitch lower. Yeah. I think Pike and Vhagar won't necessarily hurt me day one. But I think they will eventually. Vel'Koz, I do like me an eyeball with tentacles, I do. But we have to consider that you probably just see me as a test subject, and that is essentially Lulu but far worse. Void Spawn, cruel calculating sentience. Yep. Cruel calculating sentience, that's not something you want to hear. I gotta give you the big L. Gotta give you the big L. Yeah, I think roughly around Singed is good. Victor. Give me some good news, Victor. Give me some good news. I want to like you, Victor. I really do. Because mentally is my fetish as well. Herald of a new age of technology. He's devoted his life to the advancement of humankind. An idealist who seeks to lift the people of Zon to a new level. He believes I mean, it's sort of the problem with religious devotion. Except in your case, you're probably going to experiment on me. And that's a similar problem to Vel'Koz. I don't think you're as bad as Vel'Koz. I think there's definitely potential for some growth. There's some room for some love. You are human at the end of the day. And I like you more than Jace. God, I like you more than Jace. But the difference between you and Jace is I don't think Jace is gonna cut off my leg while I'm sleeping and attach a robot leg. I think you might. I think you might. And for that, my friend, I'm going to place you above Brand. That's what I'll do. Oh, Victor, I wanted to love you. Victor, I wanted to love you. Why'd you have to be a mad scientist? Alright, there's Vi. Wow, I really placed Viego in the wrong place, huh? Once a criminal from the mean streets of Zon, hot-headed, impulsive, and fearsome woman with only a loose respect for authority figures. Honestly, that's more than I can say for Jinx, so minimum C tier. Honestly, probably higher. I think she's a cool lady. I don't think she's an S tier. I think unlike Caitlyn, Vi, there's a lot less stability in that relationship. That being said, I still think you're a pretty cool lady. I'm gonna put you. Let's put you. Yeah. I think below Jarvan, above the criminals. Viego. Okay. You're like mega simp, right? Viego. Man, your bio's not going to give me much to go on. Perished over 1,000 years ago trying to bring his wife back. I mean, that's nice, right? I mean, that's what you want to hear. But on the other hand, what you don't want to hear is transformed to a powerful, unliving wraith tortured by something. That's not what you want to hear. So, I mean, I think Viego would do a hell of a lot for his significant other, and I think that's a good thing. That being said, I think he's problematic. How much will he do? I guess he'll do a lot for his wife. So, and he's not unattractive. It's not really my type, but he's not unattractive. He's a ghost, though. I think bottom of B is fair enough for him. Vlad, you're not gonna be rated highly. I sincerely doubt it. A fiend with a thirst for mortal blood, influence the affairs of Noxus. Okay, so you're a piece of shit. You control blood. You have a thirst for it. You control the minds and bodies of others easily. Not healthy. Not healthy for your relationship, bud. You could probably get a job in a blood bank, but honestly, you'll probably get fired. I think there's that low key, there's that issue. I think he won't necessarily be a bad husband, but I think there's the low key fear that at any point he could kill you just because he wants to drink your blood or something. God, I think he's probably similar to Victor. I want to rate Victor higher because I like Victor more. I think he's cuter. All right, Lolly Bear, you're up, bud. Give me the good news. Why should I rate you highly despite the fact that you are a bear? I'm like speed dating. This is speed dating, isn't it? To those who still revere him, the Lolly Bear is a storm made manifest, destructive, wild, and stubbornly resolute. I do like one of those things. He existed before mortals, and is fiercely protective of the lands that he's king created. Well, it sounds like you're kind of a dickhead, but also kind of in a way that I like. I'll put you above Gragas. Why not? Now, Warwick is going to be placed in the D tier. I'm very sure of this. Pretty sure you're just a beast that wants to eat me. Monster who hunts, transformed by agonizing experiments. Bursting from the shadows, he preys in the D tier. That's where he preys. Let's get him. Yeah, roughly with the other hunters. That looks good. Wukong. Okay, Wukong is one I hadn't thought about at all. Granted, I haven't thought about many of these, but Wukong is one that I kind of forgot was a champion. But he doesn't seem like a bad guy. He seems like a potentially good bachelor candidate. He's a Vestian trickster who uses his strength, agility, and intelligence to confuse his opponents and gain the upper hand. After finding a lifelong friend with Master Yi, he keeps good company. I think Master Yi is probably pretty chill. He became the last student. Okay, alright, Wukong. Alright, you've caught my attention. I don't think I'm going to place you too high. You are still a monkey. That being said, I don't think there's anything particularly problematic with you. I'm gonna put you right here. That's what I'm gonna do. Zaya, okay, Zaya, I feel like similar to Rakan in that she has her personality issues, but at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure she's a loving wife in canon, which, you know, yeah, I gotta give it to her. She's tried and true, proven good lover, and I like her more than Rakan because it seems like she's more you know, willing to, you know, not look in a mirror all day, unlike Rakan, who I'm not sure he loves anybody more than himself. Azaya I can see being more loving, so despite her sort of goth tendencies. Alright, Zerath, you're gonna be an issue. You're gonna be problematic. Trapped inside the desert sands. Zerath did some shit where he, first of all, can't fuck him. Second of all, not getting any jobs. Third of all, pretty sure you, like, betrayed Azir or something. Something of the sort, so we're not ranking you highly. That being said, pretty powerful. Probably cooked dinner pretty well. I don't think you're D tier. I think you're above Cass. Where's Cass? Yeah, above LeBlanc. Let's put him there. Xin Zhao. Not an interesting character, but hey, could be a good husband. We shall see here in a second. Xin Zhao, a resolute warrior loyal to the ruling Lightshield dynasty. Swore his life and allegiance. Okay, you know, I see some good things with him. I think maybe having trouble separating life from work. I don't think I'm going to place him as high as Lee Sin. I think I'm going to place him higher than Lee Sin. I think I'm going to place him right around Sejuani. Right around Sejuani. Okay, yeah, so you're like a wandering poet and drunkard, right? I don't think you're going to be placed highly. Sorry, bud. Not sorry. Fuck you. Deep resolve. I like that. Proud young man. Falsely accused. Yeah. I mean, he's a drunkard. He's a wandering poet. Not getting a job. Probably pretty good in bed. Let's be completely honest. Probably pretty good in bed. I'm going to give him the bed. Is he as much of an issue as Gragas? I think I maybe rated Gragas too low. I think I maybe gave Gragas too much shit for being a drunkard, because at least he doesn't do illegal shit. These folks do illegal shit. She's a bitch. He's kind of a bitch. Will he hurt me? I don't think he'll hurt me. I think that puts him above Alawi. I think maybe we should move Gragas up. No. Maybe we're placing Yasuo too high. Sure, why not? Yone, another ghost, I think. Otherwise, I don't really know what makes you particularly different from your brother, other than the fact that you're dead and he ain't. Half-brother Yasuo found himself hunted by a malevolent entity. Yeah, I don't think Yone's gonna be doing too well. He's kind of all the problems with the Yasuo, but I feel like worse because you're not a person. With the exception of the drunk thing. I think you're probably better about that. Place you above Zerath. Why not? Alrighty. Yorick. Yorick I think is gonna be good. I think Yorick's gonna be good. Just baseline expectation. I expect good things from Yorick. I think he's probably pretty chill. Blessed and cursed with the power of the dead, trapped in shadows, his only companions are the rotting corpses and the shrieking spirits that he gathers to him. Yorick, if we're gonna be together, I'm gonna need you to stop raising the dead. Can you do that? Because if you can, we're in a different spot, you know? Because if you're gonna be bringing up the dead and corpses into my house, no, not at all. But you are attractive. And I think, you know, with the right love life, you could stop bringing dead people into the house. So I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt, because I think you're hot. And I'm going to give you, he doesn't do anything outright illegal, and he doesn't seem like a bad guy. That already puts him above these folks. Yeah. Okay, Yumi is a cat. Again, the problem of more of a pet than a wife. That being said, gotta give her a fair shake anyways. You really are just a cat. She really is just a cat. There's not much else to say on Yumi's case. I mean, obviously, sexual component out the window, love component out the window, job component out the window. She's not doing anything. The one thing Yumi has going for her is she's not doing anything bad. She's completely neutral on the do negative things. Fun to cuddle with, but not a wife or husband. That's the thing. I really don't think I could place her anywhere above Nunu, because a lot of the same issues with Nunu Willump, but definitely not better than them. I think Yumi belongs at the top of D tier, because no, she's not a wife or a husband. She's very much a cat. So all the problems with these, but at the very least, she's not trying to murder me, which I feel like a lot of the folks down here are. Okay, Zack time. Should I rank Annie higher? I should probably rank Annie above the people that are literally trying to murder me, all things considered. I don't think Cled's trying to murder me, I just think he's a dickhead. Zack. I think Zack's gonna be a good husband, straight up. He's a toxic spill, sure. Yeah, I mean, Zack is a cool dude, despite the fact that he is a goop. I think he's a pretty cool dude. Sexual component is obviously not going to be there, but I think he's capable of love. I think he's a gentleman. He gotta get him that suit. Gotta take him to a tailor. I think Zack's actually going to be rated pretty highly. I'm going to give Zack an A tier. The question is he toxic? Is he toxic, I guess is what it comes down to. Is the ooze going to give me radiation poisoning? Because if so, we do have to place him lower, under the assumption that people can get close to him and not develop cancer. I think that he's actually going to be pretty high. I think he's going to be an S tier. I think Zack is going to be an S tier. He's just a really kind soul. Yeah. I'll place him at the bottom just because there is the potential of getting sick from him. Alright, Zed. You're gonna have to impress me, Zed, if you don't want to be at the bottom of this fucking list. Utterly ruthless and without mercy. Intent of militarizing Ione's magical and martial arts traditions. Yeah, okay, so your shadow dickhead, kind of an asshole, probably beats his wife. I give him the Aatrox treatment. Probably not quite as bad as those. I don't think he's attractive though. Like, I mean, I haven't seen what Zed looks like, so I'll put him there. Ziggs. Ziggs. You got a real problem, Ziggs. And you got two real problems. One, and it's that A, you're the Yordle, and it's not great, and B, you are very Jinx-like. Yeah. Oh, he is actually friends with Jinx in the lore. I actually did not know that. Okay. Well, you're smarter than Jinx, and I appreciate that, but you're about as aggressive as Jinx. And you also, not human. So that's not in your favor. Sorry, Ziggs. Really unfortunate to see good champions go down like this in the waifu and husbando tier list. But that's how it be. Zillion, give me some good words. You are a powerful mage, became obsessed with the passage of time. Unable to spare a minute. Okay, so basically just time grandpa. Is that your whole lore, that you're time grandpa? Nothing more than that. Pretty self-explanatory. That leaves me in a tough position, because I don't think there's anything particularly wrong with that, but it also doesn't make you particularly interesting. You're not super hot, because you are pretty old. As far as old people go, you're not unattractive. I think you're going to be better than Swain, at the very least, because unlike Swain, who's a silver fox who does want to potentially kill me, you don't seem like you're going to do that. I think above Lulu. I think really should rate Gragas higher. I should, yeah. Yeah, I think that's fair. I think that's fair. Okay, alright. 2-2, go! Zoe is next. Zoe is another one that is going to be somewhat problematic because she looks like a child. Granted, as far as I'm aware, she's several thousands of years old, which does not change the fact that she looks like a child. So very much an Annie problem. If you are using that excuse, what is wrong with you? Please. She's a kid. But that is not the worst problem with Zoe. Zoe, I have a lot of problems with Zoe similar to Annie, where I think that the fact that she is a child is a big problem, but is not nearly the only problem. Unlike Annie, where she's like, oh, I'm thousands of years old, whatever. Still has the problems of the Bard / Aurelian Soul / you know, several of those champions' problems, where she's not going to consider you an equal in any way. She's, you know, known to be very eclectic all over the place, not going to be around, not going to respect your space, your stuff. She's clearly a thief. Look at her. She steals your summoner spells. I mean, what's wrong with her? Literal child. We've seen, based on her crush on Ezreal, how she treats romance, and it is not healthy. Yeah, I think Zoe's not going to be a good wife. Same problems with Annie in terms of can't really get, I mean, she probably could get a job, but like maybe not legally. Not unless she has like a driver's license that says she came from like 1850, at which point they're just not gonna believe the driver's license, you know? I think she has some benefits over Annie and some negatives. In benefits wise, I think she has been around longer than Annie, so she'd probably be somewhat more easy to talk to, but then there's the problems of she doesn't see you as an equal as much, whereas Annie, I think, more down to earth. Overall, I think just the fact that Annie would be a more relatable girlfriend / wife / whatever, because I think they're both equally destructive. I think they're both scarily destructive, and they're both children. And also, I've literally just spent a minute rating how the difference between two children as wives, and that makes me feel very uncomfortable. So I'm moving on to Zyra, the final one, who, she is cute, but I'm pretty sure she's an evil plant. So we're gonna finish this off with a bang, apparently. Let's do it, Zyra. Tell me what's up. An ancient sorceress catastrophe, the wrath of nature given form, an alluring hybrid of plant and humid, kindling new life with every step. I'm hearing some good, I'm hearing some bad. I like kindling with life, I like alluring, I dislike wrath of nature, dislike sorceress catastrophe. She views many mortals as little more than prey for her seeded progeny. And you've lost me, Zyra, and you've lost me. I'm gonna place you because I think you are still attractive. You are probably gonna kill me. It's probably going to be roughly as painful as these two. I think you fit probably here. The question is below or above. Probably below Elise. I think less hot than Elise, less painful than Evelyn. Probably more painful than Elise. I'm guessing Elise is the chest burst opens and you die when the spiders come out. Zyra, I think, is probably more of a slow burn as you get ingested by like the Venus flytrap. So that's where I'm placing you. All right, well that is it. Okay, so I think I was pretty fair here to most folks. I feel like there's probably a pretty good gender balance in the top tiers. I don't know if that's true. I feel like there's probably a pretty good gender balance. I try to be fair. Obviously, this is the objective list. If you didn't like it, fuck you. Let me know in the comments down below that you didn't like it, so I get more alligator rhythm points. That'd be very nice. And that is every League of Legends champion up through patch, whatever the hell patch we're on. Gwen is the most recent one. Mundo's thing just came out. Rework. I saw the champions ranked on how good of a husband or wife they would be. If I were to look back over it, I would probably make some minute changes up and down based on later in the sort of my expectations for what is good and bad moved a little bit, but overall I've been doing this for like 4 hours, so click here in the middle to subscribe, over on the left for a different video, over on the right for a different video, and this has been long, and I'll see you later. Bye bye. Don't forget, this is objectively correct list, so send it to your friends.